everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Meredith and today I have another unboxing for you. This is the Women's Collective Box for winter 2020. So a couple of things. If you hear snowplows, I can't really predict when they're going to come, and my radiator is going to be making those noises. We're having like another snowstorm here in New York, so this is the only day I have to film, so I just have to work with what I have. So a couple of other things is I have already filmed this video, but I was a little bit emotional when I filmed that video, so I wanted to refilm it just so that I didn't have that cloud your judgment about the box for yourself. So I'm just going to let you know that this box is not for me. I don't think I fit the target demographic. So in my opinion, the target demographic is people who enjoy a lot of color and designs and stuff like that. And then also people who are okay with having like, I don't know if this makes sense, like the prints on your wall that say live, laugh, learn or something like that in cursive writing. I think that they would like this box, and that's not my personal style, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to give you my opinions about everything in here, and I'm going to also give you the Meredith values. The Meredith value is something I like to do with every subscription box that I unbox on the channel to give you an idea about what I would pay personally for this particular item in the box, just to determine whether or not I'm getting my personal money worth out of the box. I'm also reviewing this as somebody who lives in a metropolitan area right now, but I did grow up in a smaller town with a lot of different small businesses and boutiques that kind of feature small artisans and small batch sort of merchandise. So I do have like a general idea about how much the items would cost if you were just out and about in the boutique picking it up in person. So I'm going to be using that also in my value calculation, because I have bought a lot of items that are similar to this in those small boutiques in the past, or even very recently, to be honest. So I'm going to be using that kind of in my value judgment as well. So this is a very small business right now, so I don't want to be too harsh on it, but it's also like a lot of us are spending our own hard-earned money on products. So I want to just give you the opinion about how much I think this sort of products would be worth. So sorry that there are so many disclaimers, but I did get a discount on this box, so I bought it for Black Friday. To be honest, if I would have seen the third spoiler at the time that I made this purchase, I would not have made the purchase, because I knew at that point it was not going to be the box for me. But at that point I had already made my purchase and the money had come out of my credit card, so there was no way to get my money back, so I just had to go with what I had. So I did pay $50 for this box roughly, and the shipping to me was $9.33. So that's something to keep in mind when you're making the calculation for yourself, is that the box is $54 per quarter, plus you pay shipping, but the shipping depends on your location. So it does ship out of Michigan, and I was shipping to Minnesota, so if that kind of helps you out at all, $9.33 was the cost for shipping between Michigan and Minnesota. So if you live farther away, it may be a little bit more, or if you live closer, it might be a little bit less. So kind of in your calculation, have it at about $10, I would say, whether or not you would think that it would be $64 worth of product in here for you. So let me just get started. So since I've already filmed this, I already have my opinions about here, so this will not be first impressions, but believe me, you didn't want to see my first impressions. So let me just start with this. So actually one of my big criticisms is that there is so much packing material in the Women's Collective box. So this actually came in a very large white box with a ton of craft paper. So it's honestly like FabFitFun. So let me show you how it looked when I opened the box. So when I opened the white box, this was how it was with the craft paper on the inside. So I had to pull this off. Sorry about the rustling. And then this is how big the white box is compared to the other box. So I hope this will be all in frame for you. So it has quite a lot of space. So personally, I would just prefer them to just ship it in this small box here, because this other box, it just does protect this artwork box, but it's also kind of unnecessary. My other thing is, I'm pretty sure, I'm just basing this just on a regular consumer at the post office, but I'm pretty sure if you use a larger box, you're going to end up paying a lot more shipping than if you use a smaller box, even if the weight is the same. But that's just me kind of doing my calculations myself at the post office, and with the discussion I've had with the customer service representative at the post office. So this is how the box looks. So personally, I don't know if you know, but actually I don't really like it when there's tons of people faces on boxes. At least with this one, they do have eyes. which is my gripe with the CosBox for this particular season, is that it doesn't have eyes. So they kind of freak me out if they don't have eyes. So the box is quite nice, and it was very well protected in that large box, but I just wish that they wouldn't have wasted a large box and a ton of paper, because actually there's a lot more packaging material on the inside here, so I'll kind of go through that as well. So similarly to the CosBox and like FabFitFun in the past, I believe, it is a reversible box, and personally I do like the inside of the box a lot better than the outside of the box. So as with all of the other subscription boxes, there is a little booklet here, and it gives you more information about the companies that are featured in the box. So they do focus on women-owned small businesses. So if that's something you want to support, definitely look into the brand a little bit more, and just kind of do your own value decision about it. And on top of it, you do get this vinyl sticker here. So my problem with this is just trash because they have a spelling error. So that's just something that I think that they should have looked into a little bit more. So it says celebrate women every day, but instead of it being every day, 2 words, they have it as 1 word, which is the adjective form. So it's just something that like you could proofread this. It's very simple. It's just like 3 words, but it should be 4. So I mean, this was a nice touch had they put in the actual correct spelling. For the booklet itself, however, it is high quality glossy paper, and it has like cardstock here on the front cover. So I mean, personally, I do prefer it being used from recycled paper, if that makes sense. So like FabFitFun even made the change to recycled paper. So I mean, it would be nice if this was a little bit more sustainable, in my opinion. It does give you all of the information about the different companies and also the products. However, this particular brochure or booklet does have quite a few spelling errors and typos in it, and also grammatical errors as well. Like, I know sometimes when I'm speaking I have grammatical errors, but that's just because I don't have time to kind of edit grammatically what I'm going to say kind of in the heat of the moment. But this is like they had enough time to go over and do a little bit of copy editing. So personally, for these 2 items, I do think that even though they are a small business, they could hire a freelancer on something like Fiverr for like $5 to do a little bit of editing for them, just to make sure that they put out professional looking products. So I'm going to just start here. So this is how it looked like when it came. So on the top was this product. So it does come in like a nice bag, which is a nice presentation. So this is actually a necklace. So this is what the necklace looks like. It's like a gold X, and it's made by the company Grace and Flux. So if you are interested, there is a coupon code for Grace and Flux, and it's WCB15, and you get 15% off at their website. So let me find the information in the booklet about the necklace, and I'll give you a little bit more opinion about it. So apparently the creator or the founder of this company graduated with a degree in metalsmithing from the University of Oregon, and she lives in Portland, I guess? I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of biographical information, but there's not so much information about the product itself. So that would be something that I would wish they would have put more information in here. So I'm probably going to mention this every time that I get jewelry in the box or in a spoiler. But basically I'm very allergic to certain types of metals. So in the information here, and on the information on the card, and in all of the spoiler information, there was no information about what the type of metal is that is the gold dipped. So this says it's 24 karat gold dipped. So when I saw the spoiler, I thought that this was going to be like more fully 24 karat gold. Like, I understand that it's a very soft metal and they can't make it fully, and then also they probably wouldn't have put it in a subscription box, but it's also like I would have liked to know whether or not the inside is like stainless steel, if it's like a nickel alloy, that sort of thing. But there's no information in here about that. Enjoy this petite 24 karat gold dipped X necklace. This little X is the perfect bit of shine for your everyday. Layer this with your favorite jewelry pieces or wear on its own. So basically what happens if I wear this sort of piece and it has something that I'm allergic to it, it's not even just like irritation, it gets to be like even after 1 or 2 hours of wear, it gets to be where it gets so inflamed that it starts like peeling away layers of skin. So it's very uncomfortable, and it's not something that I'm totally down with, obviously. So in terms of the Meredith value, I'm going to assign it about a $15 value. The reason being is that I go to a lot of art fairs, and there's actually no information about whether or not this is actually handmade or if she's using her metal smithing skills to create this product. So that's why I'm just going to give it a $15 value, because if it is mass produced, I wouldn't pay more than $15 for this sort of item. However, if I was like at the art fair and I did see it, I was able to have a conversation with the artisan, I would probably pay a little bit more. They do give this a $50 retail value, which, I mean, if it is high quality materials, again, there's no information in the booklet, I would say $50 would be fair, but I just don't know anything about the product itself because the information given was very sparse. Next product was another one of these spoilers I saw before I made my purchase. So these first two items were items that I thought would be useful in my life, but again, I didn't know anything that the metal there was not going to be fully 24 karat gold. I guess I should have just thought about it. But also this product did seem very useful. It just seemed like a weird sort of item to put in a winter box. It definitely looks more like a spring color, but correct me if I'm wrong, it is like a mustard stripe, but it has this like bright melon colored tassel here. So it did look like a perfect size and like kind of useful for organizing a tote bag or something like that. The only thing is I'm going to probably cut off this tassel because it's not really my style, and I'd rather put in like a leather pull here. And then this is just going to get like dirty and kind of gross looking and matted once you do start using it. It's already looking a little bit matted here and I haven't even used it yet. So this is just like basically a zippered pouch, and it is quite useful. It does have a nice lining, so I was able to find in here that there is a manufacturer tag. So it says that this is RN number 160643, and the style number is LER21-005-1, and the shell is 100% cotton, the lining is 100% cotton, and it's made in India. And it says that this is hand wash only, do not bleach, dry flat, and low iron heat. So again, this kind of screams to me that it is maybe mass produced, since it does have the style number and the product number in there, but that's just me making an assumption there. So for this particular item, I would probably give it like a Meredith value of about $5. The reason being is that it does seem like it is more mass produced, since it does have that item number and the style number. So again, the information in here doesn't give any information about the artisans or anything. So I don't know if this is necessarily like an item that was private labeled and then sent out with a new tag, or if it was actually designed and created by this company, which would have been nice information to have. Again, since they are trying to show that this is supporting a small business, I would like to know a little bit more about the artisans and the product line, etc. This classic pouch is effortlessly chic and uniquely playful. It's perfect to use as a catch-all travel bag or simply a clutch for an evening out. This bag makes a great companion to the modern lifestyle typo. Each one is globally inspired and mindfully made, making them a perfect gift for yourself or someone else. So again, there's a lot of like blank space in here. So they do say it's mindfully made, but I would like a little bit more information about whether or not there's fair wages, or like if they're employing women, that sort of thing, or providing any sort of training and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a fine product, but I would probably give it again a $5 value, just because I do have a sewing machine myself, and this is a very simple pouch that I can make myself quite easily, even with my very, very basic sewing skills. So that's just my opinion here. It is a nice product, high quality, the stitching looks nice, etc. So this next item here is the item that came out right after I made my purchase, and if I would have seen this, I would not have purchased it. So again, this product kind of made it to me a little bit more clear that maybe there's a mismatch between my style and maybe the target demographic for this bag, or the target style. So personally, I don't like having words and stuff on my bags or my clothes. Like, I'm very anti-graphic tees. So this is what it says: empowered women, empower the world. But this is, yeah, I mean, it's a fine bag. The thing is I'm going to, again, use my sewing machine to alter this. So I'm going to put like a pocket in front of here, and then probably put like a Velcro piece up here, just so it's a little bit more functional, so there's an outside pocket and stuff. So this particular bag for me is not super functional. The shape is a little bit weird. So I just went to go grab another bag to show you. So I'm going to give this a Meredith value of $0, just because the quality and the style, etc., definitely seems like a free gift with purchase. So I went to go grab this other bag that I have. It's a free with purchase tote bag from buying a bunch of books at the book fair. So if you are in New York City, definitely consider looking at the Goodard Riverside Book Fair. They have it like once a year around Thanksgiving time, but basically that's where I go and I buy all of my Christmas presents, because they do a lot of support in Upper West Side and Harlem, and provide social services for like the elderly, the homeless, and children. So this is a great way to support them. So basically they get like a bunch of donations from book houses in New York City, and they are able to sell books at a very discounted price. and they're like new releases too. It's not like really old copies or anything like that, and they're not damaged in any way. I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but this quality feels a lot better in this free gift with purchase from the book fair versus this one. So the canvas in the free gift with purchase book tote is a lot thicker, and the weave is such that it's like denser. I don't know if that makes sense. So not only is the thread and the, I don't know textile words, but not only is the thread and stuff thicker, but also the weave is such that it feels like it's a very sturdy bag, and I can actually attest to the fact that this is a very sturdy bag. Nice thing about this other bag that came in here though is that it does have a zipper, but it is like one of those really cheap plastic zippers. In terms of it holding up to the test of time, I'm not sure about that for this bag. The other thing is that it's a really weird shape. So it's very wide, but it's like short. And also the arm straps are very narrow. So even though I'm not really wearing a bulky sweater right now, I usually wear a bulky sweater underneath like a puffer jacket if it's winter and I'm gonna go out and try to use this. So it's like a very weird shape. So I do know I have like kind of narrow shoulders for how big my body is, but this is just like not very comfortable, and if it has packages in it, it's going to be like very difficult to manage. But this is an okay purchase, I guess, if it is free gift with purchase. So again, I'm going to give it a $0 value. So the information in here gives it a $20 value. So the company that they're featuring is the people who make this print. So I think that unfortunately for me, I kind of wish that they would have done like a print on like a notebook or something that's a little bit more functional for my lifestyle. So for me, a notebook would be okay to have it kind of have a busy sort of stressful pattern on it, just because I don't have to look at it all the time because I will be writing in it with the cover open. But this is made by Polished Prints, and it's the Empowered Women tote, and it has a $20 value. And it says, inspired by the women who build us up, the Empowered Women Empower the World large tote bag is designed to celebrate the village that surrounds us. Screen printed by hand using eco-friendly water-based ink, this bag is 100% cotton and has a zipper closure. Perfect for the grocery store, the farmer's market, or really any day-to-day activity you find yourself a part of. So I mean, I don't know anything again about printing or textiles, but I'm just kind of curious if the water-based ink is going to be okay if I do wash this, because obviously every time I come back, especially now, I mean even before now in the current pandemic, I was washing all of my clothes and everything every time that I got back into my apartment, just because, I mean, I'm out and about on the subway and I don't know what kind of stuff was on the seats or in the air and stuff like that. Okay, so as I mentioned, there is a lot of packaging material. As you can see in here, this is like maybe 7/8 of the contents of the box itself is packaging material, which are these like paper shreds. So I mean, my other thing is, as I mentioned about the outside box, I think they could have fit all of the products that are in this box in a very small box, like the size of the Allure Beauty box. Just because I think it would save money on shipping, but again, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know necessarily how much the USPS charges, but I think it is based on weight, but it's also based on the dimensions of the box. So this also came in more packaging. It came in bubble wrap and tissue paper. It was like 4 layers of tissue paper and then a layer of bubble wrap. So again, there was a lot of packaging. So let me just go through this here. So actually this is the only product that I probably would purchase myself if I just saw it laying around. And this is from Concrete Days, and it also has a nice linen bag. It says, make today a good day. So this is like basically like a concrete planter, I guess. So this is probably, again, the only thing that I probably would have bought as a impulse buy if I saw it at an art fair or something. So I would give this like a merit value of like $10 to $15. So I'll be generous and give it a $15 value because I have bought similar products like this at, again, an art fair, and they've been about $10 to $15. And this is from Concrete Days. This is the tulip vessel. And it says that this piece is the perfect concrete vessel for burning Palo Santo or sage sticks and displaying small plants. Or it adds a magical whimsy to a tea lights arrangement. Whatever your hope and vision, this vessel will help you tie it all together. What's even better, the forest green color was created exclusively for Women's Collective box. It says the retail value is $22. So I did notice that in this particular box, there were a lot of items that were made exclusively for Women's Collective box. So I think personally, I would be okay paying more full price if it wasn't an exclusive item. you know, if that makes sense. So I always have that thing about the exclusive items is that they do cause it to be a little bit more like limited edition, but it's also like I want to know that the processes are the same for the company, for the products that they are selling at full retail value versus the ones that are going in the box. I also like the option of being able to purchase another item that's the same as what I have purchased through the subscription, if that makes sense. Especially for like one of the products in the cause box, it would be nice to have a set. If you know, you know. So this particular one, it would be nice if this color was not exclusive, because it would be nice if you could do like a large one. If you had like a larger plant, this medium one for a medium-sized plant and a small one for like a small plant, or like an air plant or something. So I mean, that's just my personal opinion there. And I already have plans for it. I dropped basically a product that was exactly the same size that had a succulent in it, and I've kind of been using a plastic takeout container to hold it in the moment. So I will probably put that in here after I finish filming the other video. So the next product are these two products from Booklet Botanicals. So since this is not the first time I'm unboxing it, I am going to be giving my disclaimer. These had no packaging around it. There was no sealing. There was no sealant or anything around this. This is just how they came. You'll see why that's important in a little bit. I also haven't used these products yet. So this is from Booklet Botanicals, which appears to be a company. I'm not entirely sure where it's out of. Maybe it's out of LA. They gave a lot of family background. So for this particular one, there's no information about the pricing or the ingredients or anything. It's just like a lot of information about her family, which is fine, but it's just like I would rather have some information about the product itself. So this one is a lip balm here. This is hibiscus mint and agave lip balm. And then this one is the brown sugar and coconut lip scrub. So let me just show you. So this is why it's important. So these came in like a tin. So if you are somebody who's ever used a lip balm in a tin, you know that the lid is not super secure. So it would have been nice if they would have put a little bit of a ring of plastic on here, because the reason being is that there is quite a few scratches and indentations on here. So personally, I'm going to throw this away because I don't feel comfortable, because it would go on my skin and around my mouth. So it looks like potentially the lid had fallen off and then scraped it and then somebody put it back on, but there are a lot of abrasions on here and dents. So again, I don't feel comfortable using this. And then to be honest, the scent is not totally my favorite. It smells like I don't know if it's the hibiscus or the mint. The mint is very faint, so it's probably the hibiscus mixed with some of the other ingredients. But it smells like clay to me, so that's not something that I really want to put on my mouth. So again, I'm not being like mean to this company. I do understand as a small business, but it would have been nice to even just have like tape on the lid so I knew that somebody hasn't touched it and kind of monkeyed around with it. So this one is the brown sugar and coconut lip scrub. So this one doesn't look as bad, but I don't know if I'm going to use this again just because it didn't have any sealant on it and because the other one had so many indentations and marks on it. So this one looks like the texture on here is because of the pouring process, which is fine, but again, I would just feel more comfortable if it had like a piece of tape even on it. It didn't have to be anything fancy. It could have just been a piece of like Scotch tape. So this is, yeah, again, I should have remembered. There's no information about the product and there's no pricing on here. So actually in one of my old jobs, I used to kind of do this lunchtime skincare and body care sort of making club, I guess, with the middle-aged married ladies. So I know how much it costs to make these sort of products. I'm going to give it about a $2 value if I'm being honest, just because, yeah, all the components are very small and not really that difficult to make. There's also like no information about the sourcing of the products or if it's organic or not. So again, like $2. Okay, and then finally there is one last item in here, and this is the Warm and Cozy Warm Vanilla Sugar and Chai Candle, and this is like a small travel tin, and it is from Bisbee Candles, and it says, and this candle is 4 ounces, and it was made in Oklahoma City, and it's made exclusively for Women's Collective box. So again, if you like this candle, you are not able to purchase another one. And then this says that it's a non-toxic burn. So I'm gonna give this like a $5 value just because I bought a similar candle for my friend for Christmas, and it was very unique. So it had like crystals and other items on the inside. So this is just literally just wax. And the item that I purchased for my friend, it had like all the information about the sourcing of the materials, and it was like organic and etc, etc. This just says that it's natural soy wax, cotton wick, and high quality fragrance, but there's no information about it. So I mean, I do know that this was made specifically for Women's Collective, but I wish that they would have given me a little bit more information about the product. It's not like I could have chosen the scent, and if I would have been able to choose the scent, I would not have chosen this one. So this is like a very, very, very heavy-handed vanilla scent. I don't really smell the chai, so to me it kind of does smell like a vanilla latte candle, which is not my go-to just because it's very vanilla heavy. It also has like a sour scent as well in the back, so I think that might be the chai, but I personally don't think it smells like a milky chai. It just smells kind of sour, so it kind of just smells like a vanilla latte candle where the coffee scent is like kind of sour, if that makes sense. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know below. But yeah, it's not a very complex scent, so again, I haven't burned it yet, so maybe it'll have more complexity as I burn it. But the thing is, for this candle, again, I do know that it's like hand poured, but it's kind of separating around the edges of the tin itself, so it's not really, it doesn't really look like it's mixed super well. Like the edges are like turning brown and kind of oily. So again, I do buy a lot of small batch candles, and there is a company that I've been looking at myself to buying after I burned through all my other candles. I just got a lot of candles for gifts from people. So basically the company I've been looking at is called 10,000 Flames, and I'll link them below. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't have any review because I've only been researching them. But they're a small business, and they are out of Minneapolis. Since I am from Minnesota, I do like supporting small businesses in Minnesota. And basically they have all of the information about all of their ingredients online, and you're able to see them actually do the pouring. I personally don't have TikTok because I'm not allowed to because of my work. But if you're interested in TikTok, they have like a candle, I don't even know the terminology. There's like a candle TikTok community, I guess. But they basically show you how they do all of the process, etc. So also personally, I don't like the candle tins. I like the glass ones with lids. So 10,000 Flames does have a line that is candles with lids, and I think they're 9 ounces for $19.99. They are a little bit better at describing the scents. So again, I have a sensitive sniffer, but I don't really know how to describe scents, if you know what I mean. I'm able to find like another item that smells like it, but I'm not able to tell you like what the specific notes are. So for 10,000 Flames, they do give you like a low, medium, and high, I don't even know the candle terminology, scent description for you, so you can see the different notes. So this says this is the Warm and Cozy Candle by Bisbee Candles, and it retails for $16. It's made exclusively for Women's Collective box. This candle has notes of warm vanilla, sugar, and chai. It's perfect candle to light while relaxing inside this winter. Yeah, so I mean, even the description doesn't really give you any sort of complexity information. So maybe it just is literally just vanilla and chai, I don't know. So that is everything that I got at my Women's Collective box, and not that the owner knows who I am or even gives a flying fig who I am or my opinion. I think as a small business, there are certain things that larger companies can do that don't really translate well for a small business, but this is just my opinion as a consumer. So like for FabFitFun and for Cosbox even, and for what's it called, BoxyCharm, there are quite a few products in those boxes that are made exclusively. So I think that they can get away with doing it just because they have a lot of other products in there. But for a smaller business, I think it is a little bit risky just because a lot of us have had less than stellar experiences with the made exclusively products. I'm not saying that these are bad quality products in any way, but I also think that if you're a small business trying to uplift small businesses, I feel that by featuring products that the consumer could actually go out and repurchase is probably a little bit better. Just because I know that for me personally, when I see that it's made exclusively for it, I already think that it's a lower quality product. But that's just a bias based on like BoxyCharm and FabFitFun, for example. So I don't think I'm necessarily alone in that. But also like for certain products, like again that planter, I would have wished that it wasn't an exclusive color. Because if I am going to change suddenly to having green in my apartment, I would like to have multiple pieces. So I would like to have a large planter, a medium planter, and a small planter, as I mentioned, or even like a large one and 2 mediums. So I mean, that's like one of the risks, I guess, for doing an exclusive product, but I kind of wish I would have known that there were so many exclusive products in this particular box before I made my purchase. Some of the companies, it just seems like some of the products are probably fine, but as I mentioned, for this lip scrub and lip balm, I kind of wish that they would have even just used Scotch tape to tape up the sides so I knew I wasn't going to be getting product that somebody has touched. Also, I didn't mention this, but when I first unboxed it, the lid up here actually had a bunch of the paper shavings like squeezed into it, like they were closed into the lid. So it just kind of looked like all of the tins didn't have the best experience in like the shipping process and the packing process, because it looked like somebody had like set it in here, the lid popped off, and then they had shut the lid, and then some of the paper shavings got stuck in it just because it's not a very strong seal. So I mean, again, I understand that it is a lot of work to package these boxes, but if I personally would have seen that the lids were popping off of the products, I probably would have taped them down. Maybe I'm just very type A about this, but yeah, I probably would have just kind of done an extra step. I understand that it is kind of asking a lot, but it's just like, for the consumer to get products that already look like they were opened and touched is kind of no bueno, but that's just my opinion there. So again, I only paid $50 for this box, including the $9.33 shipping. But again, this box retails for $54 roughly, plus I think that there should be tax. I personally didn't pay tax, but I think I probably should have paid tax on it. It just wasn't billed to me with tax. And then plus on top of it, I would guess like probably like $10 in shipping just so that you are safe with your bubble. So I would say like $64 or $65. Just kind of think about whether or not you'll get your $65 in like joy out of this box, if that makes sense. So again, I don't think she knows who I am or gives a flying fig again about my opinion, but I do think that if they would have condensed it into a smaller box, it probably would have been a lot cheaper in shipping. So I think personally, in terms of marketing, it's also, they're trying to hit similar demographics to the cause box. So I think a lot of members of Causewax are in it because of, number one, the causes, number two, like sustainability and stuff like that. So just seeing a bunch of packaging material is not super happy for me. So I'm sorry again that you had to suffer through this, and I hope that I didn't offend anyone. That wasn't my goal here. I was just kind of giving a real consumer perspective about this particular box. And again, I will be filming the video with a little bit less opinions in the cause box versus the women's collective box. I'm just going to be presenting my experience. So yeah, that is everything in this video. Just letting you know, I'm going to be filming that video right after this, and then I also have a Mail Monday that I'm filming, so you might see me in the same clothes for a while. So then I also will have my BoxyCharm arriving this week, and then I have another item in my Mail Monday, I guess. I'll probably be doing a review of that product just because it's a brand new release. It's honestly coming on Tuesday, I think, but I don't have time to go to my P.O. box during the week just because I'm very busy with work. So I'll probably do that video next Saturday and try to get it up by Monday because it is a brand new product release. So I want to give you that information as soon as humanly possible. I already have ideas about how I'm going to film it and show you what it is and how it works. So again, I wasn't trying to be harsh on this box. I personally know that I have people in my life who would have really enjoyed this box. It just doesn't fit my lifestyle. So as you know, I kind of like to do a little bit more thorough research and kind of figuring out whether or not it's going to fit my life whenever I see the spoilers. Just as an FYI, I did actually skip my box for the FabFitFun this season just because I wasn't getting much joy out of looking at the products. And the products I was going to choose were just like, yeah, I guess I'll use them. But that's not how I want to be in 2021 with my money or my, basically my living space, because it is quite small here. So yeah, that's just that. So yeah, BoxyCharm, Women's Collective versus Cosbox, Mail Monday, and a brand new skincare release. Those are all videos that are coming up. I also am editing a couple of other videos. It's just like, I just had all these major plans, but I have only a certain amount of time in my week to do this. So yeah, that is everything, and I hope that you have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. Goodbye.